And so everybody getting pushed up begins to matter when you hit up against that ceiling. And there's no place to move above, right? But if it didn't affect the variation, it shouldn't matter. In this case, there is a finite upper limit. And so even though it's additive, we have to figure out the fact that it does affect. And that's something to keep in mind. So even an additive effect with a finite scale is going to push up at the top and take away your variation. And if you don't have variation, you don't have covariation. And everything is about covariation and correlation. All right. Now what I've done is taken a constant amount and then also added a random component. And this is to the full scores, not to the items. So basically made it a little bit more realistic by saying not only is there this additive effect, but there's random error. So instead of just one form of error, both random and systematic error, and try to do this experiment. And so you can see what happens with random error. These are very artificial, of course, but you can see the true score is 0.97. And then you have, if you add in, the random errors for both, basically what happens, right? So for both, then the random error decreases the correlation. So that's what we're trying to show here. Now consider a method factor which leads to inflation of each score by 4 units. Again, added both. So, you got random, you got true, and you got both. And you can see that, what happens with random, with both, and so on. So just playing it out, So, if you have, basically you got the true score correlations, you got the random and random correlations, and you got the both correlations. So what has happened to the correlation? How are random and systematic error different in their impact on correlations? What does random error do? And what does systematic error do in terms of its impact on correlation? So it's the so what question. All right. And I'm going to give you a few words to explain it in. But the question is a so what question. And I'm going to label it as so what for random error and systematic error. So what? Random versus systematic. Are they any different in how they impact correlations? Random error and systematic error. Are they any different? Okay. And so therefore, I would like you to explain to me what does random error do to correlations and what does systematic error do to correlations?